All right, welcome everyone. We are so thrilled because we have the amazing Cindy Williams with us tonight. If you do not know Cindy, you are going to want to start following her on social media after tonight. She is amazing. She has so much energy. She makes you feel just so loved and pumped up whenever you're around her. And we are so thankful she joined us tonight. She'll be on for the first, 8 or 10 minutes, and then we will let her go because she wakes up so early to work out and teach her classes, and she's just amazing. So thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing with us tonight. Do we have a delay? Uh-oh, I think she's frozen.
Ed? Oh, is there? Oh,
it's okay. Well, I can hear you now. Okay, there we go. We're good.
Okay, because it did say that my internet connection was unstable. You guys are all frozen, so hopefully I'm not frozen, but can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll just go ahead and get started. Lauren, just pipe in if I'm not frozen, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, guys. So social media, so important to our businesses today, for sure. So I think the biggest thing, and I just dwindling, and I don't really
Cindy, we are losing you quite
know that I can, reach out to the world is at our fingertips. Okay. Why don't I see if I can get a,
Could you do from your phone maybe, and then be on like your, instead of on your your home's Wi-Fi, maybe just use your phone and see if that would work?
Yes, let me do that. Let me log on right now.
Okay. So I asked Cindy to just share some tips tonight especially about social media. She's so good. If you guys don't follow her on Instagram or on Facebook, make sure you do, because she just writes so well. Her pictures are beautiful. She just has so many good, helpful, inspiring tips. She's funny. She's genuine. So definitely show her some love on social media, because she's definitely one you're going to love following, and she's going to share kind of just some of her best tips with us.
Okay. Can you?
Yes, you are good.
Can you see me or no? It doesn't really matter if you don't see me.
I just see your beautiful picture, but we can hear you clearly now. Oh, but now you're muted.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
It's unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. I don't know why my picture is not there. Hang on. Let me see if hang on. Not that it matters, because it's not like here we go.
There you go.
Yay! Okay. All right. Cool. Much better? Much better?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right, let's get this party started. All right, so, social media, it's where it's at. It's such a great platform to just share the authentic you. And I have learned a lot over the years. I do a lot of self-development, personal development, business development from some of the best in the industry. Melanie Mitro is one of my favorites. If you guys don't already follow her on Instagram or Facebook, and listen to her podcast called the Women Inspiring Women Podcast, or Make Chic Happen, or Chic Influencer Community. She's incredible, as well as Bob Heilig. Those two are movies. Your virtual upline is Bob Heilig. So go ahead and write those down. If you don't already listen to those two, dig in, and you'll learn some valuable tips. So I think if you're just getting started, or you're a little unsure as to where to start, I truly feel that stories are where they're at. Now, I'm going to tell you, Dana started stories well before me, my sister, my business partner, and I was like, stories, blah, 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 blah. But they are amazing. So the reason why they're amazing is, and I love it because I'm kind of a hot mess in action. While it looks like I do have like pretty pictures, and I do have an eye for my camera. Like I do, I think I've developed that over the years with my green jeans business and having to do styling and all that. Mm-hmm. But I love stories because it literally can show people that you're not perfect, and they don't want to see perfect. They don't want to see perfection. I do feel that your Instagram grid should look pretty. Okay. I'm not going to lie there. Not a lot of text. Like you don't want to put like a quote unquote, like add up, like on your, grid. And also even on Facebook, like, one of the things that I really hone in with my team is if you guys really want to use social media as your vehicle, you cannot be sharing, like, you cannot do anything political, anything religious. I mean, you can obviously, I talk about Jesus and God and things, but to like do anything political or controversial, like stay out of it unless you don't want to use social media as your platform for your business. Mm-hmm. Also doing a ton of sharing, just of sharing of articles, not in my opinion, like if you're going to share something, you got to back it up with why you're sharing it, why it's important to you, personalize it. Don't just hit the share button. So like, for instance, a couple of my posts today was shared by several people, about my journey. And they said, I can really relate. Like she started here and now she's here, like kind of showing some, genuine interest in it, and, I'm her friend and whatever. So just remember to always personalize it. I feel out when people just kind of just start sharing. And so when someone's coming to check you out and all they see is that you're just sharing articles and, lost dogs and whatever, they're gonna be like, what? I don't really understand what she's doing. I don't really get it. Now, certainly if there's a missing child in your community, you're going to share it. Right. So, but I'm just saying, don't get in the habit of just being that person that's constantly sharing. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's my tip on that. Mm-hmm. Stories are so much fun. And what ended up happening, and I have had several conversations with my team because they're really good at stories, but they said that they constantly feel like they're having to post right away because they're supposed to feel like real time, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what? And it's actually Laura, who is Agabo. I can't even. It's Laura A. G-G-A-B-O, whatever. Anyway, she's amazing. Now, you want to talk about some pretty pictures? That girl's got some pretty pictures. And her stories are great. But she felt like she's got 3 littles at home, and she felt like she was constantly having to like hide around the corner and post her stories. And she's like, I'm so exhausted. And I said, okay, Laura, here's the deal. You're taking pictures all day anyway with your kids. It's just what we all do as moms, right? And we're documenting our day. I said, so when you tuck them in at night, they're all asleep, then you sit down and post all your stories. Now, Kristen Cunningham may disagree with that and say that we should post multiple times a day. Personally, I can only do it once a day. I figure if I can do it once a day, that's good enough for me. Mm-hmm. I don't care if I post in the evening or in the morning. For me, I actually post as soon as my kids step on the bus. I sit down and do that even before I walk in my house. I'm like in my minivan. And then when I get in my house, I'm on to my other tasks for the day. Right. I'm crafting content. I'm doing my reach outs. I may be working on my green jeans business or whatever. So I do find, because what happens is you squirrel and you'll do a story and then you're like, ooh, what was that one hashtag that somebody else used? And then you go to find them and you start going down the rabbit hole and then you waste time. Right. So I feel like it's just block the time and then that's the time you're going to do it and you knock it out and you get it done. So it's really, it's a fun thing. So what I find, I feel like a natural educator. For instance, I was literally sitting in the minivan yesterday, sitting at my kid's soccer practice. I had my like totally messy Tupperware container of like eggplant dip and all my vegetables were thrown in there. It looked atrocious, but I'm like, soccer mom life, like had arrows pointing down to the field where my kid was playing, like way out in the distance. And I had my messy vegetables and my eggplant dip, like right there in the picture. The sun was in my face. It wasn't pretty, but it's like showing like, okay, so she's being smart about how she's snacking or what she's eating in her car. Oh, what's that eggplant dip? Maybe somebody will message me and be like, tell me about your eggplant dip. That type of thing. And that's where conversations start rolling. I also think that doing polls, like just silly fun polls, like the ask a question, yes or no, are so fun and important. And just simple questions like, have you ever had oatmeal cauliflower? Have you ever used avocado oil? Those are all the things that I've done. And then when they answer it, I actually reply back with a recipe, or I'll give them a tip as to where I bought it. So there's always a reason to reach back out with them, and they really appreciate it. So I'm actually behind right now because people have asked for the cauliflower oatmeal recipe. So I need to just copy and paste it, go back to that story because they're archived, and just literally message them all and be like, hey, I know you were interested in the cauliflower oatmeal recipe. Here's what I do. They're being like, oh my God, you're the best. Thanks. So I'm not looking for anything in return, but what I've started is a conversation.
Yes.
And you know that these people are interested in what you have to say, interested in what you're sharing. That's your audience. Okay. So also thinking about your audience, I feel like, especially when we post, Katie's done this exercise, I'm sure. It's called the avatar exercise. So it's something that she and I are both in. I don't know, Lauren, are you in Melanie Mitro's group?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So it's called Creating Your Avatar. And you guys could probably, Katie, you can totally share that document in your team page. I did with mine. So what's important is that we're not just throwing spaghetti on a wall with our content. Like, I hope that the lady with menopause reads this, and I hope that the mom that's pregnant reads this, and I hope that maybe the mom that's in middle school with middle school kids reads this. Like, no, it's not really the best use of your time and energy. Typically, who your audience is and who you want to reach is who you are. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Is who you are as a mom. So for me, it's people that are already on a health journey. Like, like my target audience, I have very few people that are like foreign to health foods. I have very few people that haven't stepped foot into a health food store. I have very few people who are obese, honestly, that are attracted to me. I have people who already are on a fitness path. They're dipping their toe, already have their foot into health, but they don't really know how to navigate. They're still trying to find their brands. So that's my avatar. That's me. That's how I was when I started Shaklee. So that is who I write down in this exercise and who I talk to. I even will think about a mom that I'm talking to when I write this. When I actually think about Suzanne Fry, I do. She is a health mom. She's a cross-country mom. She's a runner, and she won't buy Shaklee. Although she just bought her first box of Vitalizer from my stash. So that is huge, right? So she's like, I just need to buy those vitamins from you. I'm so good on protein. I don't need any hydration, no performance products or anything, just vitamins. I've never taken vitamins. I'm like, all right, sweet. So anyway, so I talk to Suzanne all the time, like, quote quotes. And it seems to work for me because I feel like there's a lot of Suzannes out there that are like her, like me, and that's who I talk to. I'm not talking to Dana's audience. Dana's in the weeds with a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Like, that's not my jam. Like, I may attract a few of those, but it's typically all people going through what I'm going through. Okay, so that's a super, I think, really important task to do for you guys to get really serious about who you're talking to, so you stop wasting your time just talking to the masses when you are doing more or less your bigger content type posts on Insta and Facebook. I think sometimes we sit at our computer, we go, what do we want to write today, right? I think that's one of our biggest concerns. So I feel like for those of us that feel that way, finding a rhythm. Now, if you say, I want to post 5 out of 7 days, 3 out of 7, like whatever it is, some ideas I wrote down are like, Motivation Monday. For recently, a lot of quotes that I've put up, people have really taken to. Like, it's not a picture, it's a quote. So thoughts on Facebook Live. Yes, I'll get there, Sarah. So like Motivation Monday, Tuesday tip of the day, or Testimonial Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Throwback Thursday. Maybe Throwback Thursday is something that's changed in you. What you used to do, maybe it's a picture of like Skippy peanut butter on one side, and now it's like fresh ground peanut butter from Whole Foods now in your pantry, right? One or the other. Throwback Thursday. This is what I used to eat, and this is what I eat now, and this is why. I'm going to educate them why I'm eating peanut butter without added, high inflammatory canola oil and added sugar. right? So that's kind of a fun thing to do. You know, I like Friday, Feel Good Friday or Fitness Friday maybe, or Spotlight Saturday. Spotlight Saturday might be fun to spotlight somebody that you like, whether it's a Shackley business sister or one of your customers. Maybe you could spotlight a customer. That's kind of fun. So like Spotlight Saturday, and like you just go and have these interview questions and send them out to 6 of your favorite people, and then you just kind of talk about them on Saturdays. I don't know. So the whole idea is to kind of like write that down, what that might look like for you, and now you have a framework as to what you can work on. Now, I must say, like, Saturday and Sunday mornings, I don't know if you guys are early risers or not. I am an early riser. There's nothing I like more than to get up early without anywhere to go. So that's typically Saturday and Sunday mornings. So I will get up before my boys and my husband. Now, my boys are like tweens, right? So they love to sleep. And my husband loves to sleep in too. So I get up, I make my cup of tea, and I put on my robe, and I'll do a little self-development. And then I literally will plan what my next week's going to look like so that I can start Monday running. Okay. So taking that time on Sunday morning, bright and early, I think is important. Now, if you completely obviously observe the Sabbath, then obviously do that maybe Saturday morning. So, you know, that's kind of one of the ways that I roll. And I think it's really important when you can get in that habit of planning and, you know, create yourself like a 7-block Monday through Sunday blocks, and call it your social media and write it in your themes of the day. And then think about the topic you want to write about. Maybe it's a food you swapped. Maybe it's, you know, I think really talking about, there's twofold. So there's definitely, when you guys look at the cleanse box, you know, there are different things that the cleanse improves. It's our mood, sleep, digestion, you know, weight loss. I would honestly pick one of those to talk about for like a month, like one day, you know, out of the month, like, you know, like, and then you think about like the landmark study, and you talk about heart disease and rate of inflammation and stress and all that kind of stuff. And so I think it's important you can just pick one and hone in on that. You're going to speak to more people when you keep it more defined. Does that make sense? You may feel like you want to say, oh, but the landmark study, I mean, heart and, you know, diabetes and all these different things. No, just one thing. And then just really educate on that and how simple steps can help make that better. And that would be like, that's just content, right? That's just content that we're looking for to develop. Okay, so Sarah had asked about Facebook Live. So in your rhythm of your themes, think about each week which one you'd want to go live about. And that would be, maybe it's your Tuesday tip. Maybe it's your Wellness Wednesday. Maybe you're going to talk about somebody on Spotlight Saturday. But I would try to go live at least once a week. I think some of the easier lives are like your grocery hauls. Like if you guys think you had, oh, that was an amazing grocery trip and it was super clean, like not a lot of processed food. Or even if there are, why did you choose the processed food that you chose? You know, it's probably better than what you've chosen in the past. Let's face it, we all have to buy processed food, and our kids need to eat in their lunches, right? Some of them. So, you know, so I would do something like that, like set up your camera and just unload your groceries and start talking about it. Do an unboxing of your Shackley wellness box for the month. And then I think it's, maybe you have a great recipe that's drawn interest online, or it's a cleanse recipe that you are using now on a daily basis, like cook it. Just going, hey guys, I just thought I'd come live, show you this recipe that I just loved, making energy bars with your kids. Yeah, perfect. Hey guys, I have this recipe. I would love to show you, you know, how I do it. There's been a lot of interest. People have loved it on the cleanse. They use it after. It's been a, you know, #1 hit, whatever. And just do a real quick rundown as to what your ingredients are and do something like that. I mean, it's really endless, and I have a ton of ideas, and it's really you like carving out the time and the dedication to do that. And I'll tell you, consistency is huge. Even if it's not like, school lunches, making a shake, meal prep, all that stuff. I mean, I had great, when Shackley did that 3-day green smoothie challenge or something like that, I did that and went live, I think, or maybe it was 5 days. I did that live. And then that was a lot of fun. I actually gained a couple of new customers from that. So yeah, I mean, it's really, really, really endless.
Cindy,
The
when do
biggest
you
thing is,
feel like when do you feel like you think of like your best ideas, and do you just keep like a running list on your phone of like things you want to, I know that's
I do.
I do.
I actually have a Microsoft Word document that I
Mhm.
keep running open on my computer, and I will actually write out a lot of my larger content posts
Mhm.
and just have them in there. So I will do a lot of that, or like I'll copy and paste from like some signed stuff or whatever if I needed to grab something off our website. But yeah, I have a running list, and I do have a notes section on my phone that I'll like, if I think of something, I'll go in there and I'll just voice it into my phone when I'm on the road or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's so many teaching moments, and I feel like so many of us complicate things, and we like feel like we need to like be scientists, and we don't like at all. Like people like appreciate when you can't like pronounce a word. I'm serious. Like it's fine. You know what I mean? Like you're real, and we're not scientists. We all don't have doctor in front of our names, you know?
Mhm.
So I feel like you just need to be confident. That's
Yeah.
it. Just confidence that in the products. That's probably the number one thing. I mean, that's something that Melanie always says, that you have to have absolute confidence in your products and also in your business. And if you don't, it shows. So the way you build your confidence is by using more products, right? And really understanding your testimonial as well, and telling your story. I think when you really start thinking about where you were and where you are now, even from a mindset standpoint, it is so amazing, the transformations that we've all made. And I feel like so many of us like discount that just because our business isn't like, 7-figure or something like that. And then we're like, well, we kind of suck. No, like you have changed greatly as a person, and that is huge. And I feel like that in and of itself, being around a like-minded community is amazing. People are looking for that today. And that's where you attract business partners too. But and I know you had talked about photos too, Lauren. And I mean, I use Light and Airy, the like filter, like I'll filter some of mine, some of my pretty images on Insta and on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get too
Photoshop, or is that like a preset you bought from someone?
It's a preset I bought for like, I don't know, $20 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's through it's in Lightroom.
Yeah.
The LR, like it's an Adobe app, and then the preset. So that's pretty, Dana did that, and then I followed suit, and I really like it.
Yeah, I did that too. It's really helpful for pictures that are really dark.
Mm-hmm.
To lighten them up. I think it costs like $30 or $20, but then you have access to it forever, and obviously right off. But one thing I was going to mention, Cindy, this is all really, really, really good, but is really to ask yourself, why would someone care about this? Like, why would someone take time? Okay, for example, one video that got a lot of comments for me was making energy bars with May. And I think people were drawn to that because it was a recipe. It was a healthy recipe. May was in, so it made it more fun. And people cared because they wanted the recipe, right? Maybe it's your team, I know, does a lot of Costco hauls or Trader Joe's hauls. And I always watch them because I'm like, I want to see their tips on gluten-free recipes and things like that. And so, just ask yourself, and it's going to look differently for everybody. For some people, maybe it's, how you recover after a workout, or, making your shake in the morning or whatever it is. But just, take time to think to yourself, like, why would somebody take the time to watch this? And then if you can answer that, most likely it's good content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
You said too about, gaining confidence and sharing your story. I think sometimes, some of us have had the chance to even speak on a stage or, at a regional conference or something and share our story. And maybe we've had someone help us kind of narrow in our focus. If you feel like you struggle with sharing your story in a, short, we kind of practiced this a little bit over the weekend at our Chicago regionals of just even the Prove It challenge. But I would just say even your overall health journey, if you need help, with kind of condensing that and kind of being able to share your story in 30 to 45 seconds to 60 seconds or whatever, reach out to one of us, because I would love to help you with that. I would love to help you be able to just really verbalize that in a clear and concise way, because I think that's really powerful. And when we kind of, have a better grasp of how to share our story and have confidence in sharing it, it can be so powerful. So Cindy, thank you so much for being on tonight. We appreciate you so much.
You're so welcome. I hope that was helpful. If you guys need anything else, let me know.
Super helpful. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Keep up the good work. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So that was awesome. And we have we're at 8:28. So Cindy covered a lot, which was awesome. I had a few things that I was going to share, but I'm thinking more now that what I'm going to do so that we can take action from here rather than kind of give more tips. You guys already have gotten a bunch of tips tonight, so I'm not really going to go there, I think, right now. So if you have a pen and paper or your planner, some takeaway action steps, think about 3 areas in social media that you feel like you want to grow in. Maybe it's the consistency piece. I know for me, I really struggle with being in videos. I don't enjoy it. I look like this 99% of the time. So I feel uncomfortable. But I also know like that they can be fun and that they can showcase kind of more day in the life type things. So anyways, that's one of my examples. Identify 3 different things that you would like to work on. Maybe you really don't ever share testimonials. I know that's a strength for some of the people who are on this call. Like they're so good about sharing other people's stories and their health changes. Maybe it's photography. Maybe you feel like, you know what, that's something I want to, be better about is, just being able to talk about Shaklee in a way that it's not just a picture of the Shaklee product, or if it is a picture of the product, maybe it's in a way that's really going to capture someone's eye and make them want to stop and actually read your caption and not keep scrolling. That would be one little piece of homework, is to just identify 3 areas in social media that you'd like to grow in. And then the next little step then would be, this also helps piggyback off of what Cindy said, is to put some intentionality into your planning for that. And so you don't always have to have everything perfectly planned out a week ahead of time for social, but it's also really important that we're intentional about it, because you guys have something really powerful to share with people. And social media is one of the easiest ways to reach more people with what you have to offer, and you have something that's life-changing. And so we just want to be intentional with it. You don't have to be perfect. None of us are going to be perfect with this, but be intentional. So something that's helped me, I know Kristen Cunningham kind of recommends like 3 posts a week, but something that helps me is that I will just kind of write out, I keep a running list on my phone of ideas, but then I will put in my planner like when I would roughly like to share them. Maybe for you, it's just that at the top of the week, you're going to put like 3 boxes, and you're going to just know that throughout the week, you want to kind of be checking off one of those boxes. And then I loved Cindy's idea too. I think that's just such a good idea that it just helps to get some ideas of like a theme. So maybe it'll help generate like, okay, Monday, I really want to post something that's going to be motivational or whatnot. So just putting that into your planner to make sure that you keep up with that consistency, because that can be sometimes the biggest hurdle for some people in social media, is just the consistency. So I hope that's helpful. Katie, I don't know if there's something else you want to add in this last minute, but
I think I loved her part at the very, very beginning, which was, just don't be afraid to be you. Like, we all know Karen is really funny, and she's really funny on social media too, because she's just sharing herself. And so people relate to that. I did like this silly thing on stories yesterday where I was looking through old papers of me drawing pictures in elementary school, and people were just commenting and laughing. And it's like, they got to see this other side of me, and they got to connect with me more. And again, it's all about building trust. And the only way to build trust is when you are 100% real, 100% genuine, 100%, who you are. And so each and every one of you have gifts and talents and things to share. So just be who you are. And, and I think that hopefully takes away any fears of like, I don't know what to post, or I don't know if this is, just share from your heart, because people will see that and identify with that and click with that too. Mm-hmm. And I think that avatar, like really think through who is your niche? Like who are people that come to you in Shaklee? Maybe it's a lot of people that work out. Maybe it's a lot of, younger people. Maybe it's a lot of moms. Maybe it's moms with, all, different things like that. So think through who your niche is, and that can really help you when you're speaking to that audience too, which I think is important.
Yes, for sure.
And I just want to remind everybody too that we have our sneak peek on Thursday. I know you guys have been really busy inviting, which has been really cool and exciting. Obviously you can add people all the way up until the event and even afterwards, because it's a group. But one thing I would encourage you in the next day and a half is Sam did this today. She did this beautiful post about her business and going to new directors tomorrow. Woo woo. And so try and also think of a way where you could share the business, in the next day. Obviously we don't want like join our team, like click here to sign up with me, but think of a way to share your story and make it more than just health. Make it more about, why did you get started in Shaklee? What has the community meant to you? What is that extra income meant for your family? What has the flexibility of doing a Zoom when your kids are in bed meant to you? Like share from your heart. Yeah. And you'll capture people by making, you'll never go wrong with a real picture of the products, a real picture of you. Stock images here and there are okay, but really try and make them your own images. Are going to get the best, the best attention. And so hopefully that helps.
Any questions?
I was just going to add that when I do those like just fun posts that get a lot of interaction, it's actually like data collection for me, because I can see who is still watching my profile or looking at it, So it's like, oh, okay, they are, because you guys know with a lot of Shaklee posts, you can get crickets, but those, like, I think I'm at like 200 likes on Silas's class picture today, but those 200 names, I'm like, okay, interesting. They haven't blocked me. They haven't taken me off their feet. So it's actually really interesting. So those are nice to throw in too, just for that reason as well.
Exactly, Karen. And what's going to happen, actually, here's the thing. The next thing you post now, all of those people are going to see. So that's why when you do a killer post like that, the next content is going to be most likely seen by a lot of these people. And you just made a really good point. Don't be afraid, especially in stories. Don't be afraid to ask people, what do they want to see? I'm doing this whole little mini series on helping families save money. A lot of people said that they wanted to see that. People have told me before they want to see meal prep. People have told me before they need more recipes. Right. So poll your audience, ask, say, just ask them questions to see where you can get content from. Ask them, what would you like to see more of? I want this to be a helpful resource to you. But Karen, that's a really, really good point.
And one thing too that Kristen said over the weekend was that, think about your social and look over it, and does it feel more like a monologue or more like a dialogue? And I think, that's such a good thing to keep in mind when we're sharing, whether it's in stories or in our posts, that, you want it to feel like a dialogue. And so even like we've all been saying, like, even if it's something super silly, like do it, like have fun on social, build trust, make connections with people with that understanding in your mind that you have experienced something amazing and you want to share it with other people. And so, I think we'll end there since we're at 8:36.
And get a really good school picture of your kids.
Exactly.
You pay big money for those things, so I won't get a re-kick though. The message has been sent loud and clear. So
Karen, that is worth every single penny of that.
Oh, for sure. Amazing.
The best.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, Laura.